In a quiet valley nestled between tall mountains, there lived a humble shepherd named Elias. His days were spent tending to his flock, guiding them through the meadows, and watching over them with care. He lived alone in a small stone cottage, the only company being the bleating of his sheep and the occasional visit from the villagers, who would come to buy wool or seek his advice on matters of the land. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills and painted the sky in shades of gold and pink, Elias found a newborn lamb separated from the rest of the flock. It was weak, trembling, and barely able to stand. Without a second thought, Elias scooped the lamb into his arms and carried it back to his cottage. He tended to the little creature through the night, feeding it warm milk and wrapping it in soft blankets. As dawn broke, something extraordinary happened. A bright light filled the room, and Elias, blinking in confusion, saw a figure standing by the hearth. The figure was cloaked in shimmering robes, with eyes that held the wisdom of ages. "Elias," the figure said in a voice that was both gentle and powerful, "I have come to thank you." Elias, though bewildered, bowed his head in respect. "Thank you? For what?" "For your kindness to this little lamb," the figure explained, pointing to the creature nestled by the fire. "You have shown a selfless love, a love that reflects the heart of the world." Elias blinked, still uncertain. "But I've only done what any shepherd would do. I couldn't let it suffer alone." The figure smiled. "And that is the gift, Elias. For in caring for this lamb, you have opened your heart to the world's need, and in doing so, you have received a gift in return." With a wave of the figure's hand, the room filled with warmth, and Elias felt an overwhelming peace settle within him. The light dimmed, and when he looked again, the figure was gone, leaving only the faintest trace of a golden glow. The days passed, and the lamb grew strong and healthy. Elias returned to his usual routine, but something had changed within him. He began to notice the beauty in small moments. The way the morning dew clung to the grass, the songs of the birds as they perched on the branches, the joy of watching the sheep play in the fields. He realized that the world was full of gifts, waiting to be noticed. One day, a traveler passed through the valley, weary and hungry. Elias invited him into his cottage, offering him bread and milk. As they shared a meal, the traveler spoke of distant lands, of great cities and sprawling forests. When Elias listened, he felt a deep understanding, as if the traveler's stories were his own. Before leaving, the traveler handed Elias a small, carved wooden sheep. "This is for you," he said, "a gift for the one who knows that kindness is the greatest treasure." Elias smiled, accepting the gift. He didn't need to ask more questions. He knew now, the greatest gift was not something one could hold in their hands. It was the ability to give, to love, and to see the beauty in the world around him. And from that day on, Elias continued his work with a heart full of gratitude, knowing that every act of kindness, no matter how small, was its own blessing.